Everyone knows about the great victories of the Roman Empire, but what about the defeats no one talks about? In some corners of the world, even Rome's mighty legions met their match and failed. From fearless warrior queens to unstoppable tribes, today you'll discover the lands that Rome tried and failed to conquer. Get ready for stories of courage, resistance, and the limits of even the greatest empire in history. Let's dive in. Sudan. Amanirenas, the fearless one-eyed queen of Kush, boldly stood up to Rome's authority. Outraged by the heavy taxes imposed by Rome's Egyptian governor, she led a daring attack, capturing loot, prisoners, and even the head from a statue of Emperor Augustus. A bold statement. Back home, Amanirenas buried the stone head of Augustus beneath the steps of her palace, so everyone who entered would trample on it. This act was a powerful symbol of defiance, humiliating Rome and sparking years of brutal clashes with Kushite warriors. A warrior queen. At the front lines, Amanirenas fought right alongside her soldiers, leading from the front. Even after losing sight in one eye during battle, she refused to back down. Her fierce presence struck fear into the hearts of Roman troops and showed that Kush would not be conquered. Victory and independence secured by 21 BC, Amanirenas' resilience paid off. Rome's Egyptian governor agreed to a peace treaty, securing Kush's independence. Rome never tried to invade that region again, leaving Kush free for centuries. Scotland, Caledonia, and what we now call Scotland, proved almost impossible for the Romans to conquer. Despite 3 separate campaigns, Roman commanders never fully got a grip on the region. Beyond Hadrian's Wall, contrary to popular belief, the Romans did push past Hadrian's Wall, thus building a second wall further north. The Antonine Wall, built by Emperor Antoninus Pius around 140 AD, but it didn't offer much protection. The unstoppable Caledonians. The Caledonians pretty much ignored the Antonine Wall, raiding Roman lands with ease. After about 20 years, Rome gave up on holding the new wall and retreated back to Hadrian's Wall, leaving Scotland to its own devices. Iran. Rome's battles with Parthia, which covered modern-day Iran and Iraq, started before Rome was even an empire, and they dragged on long after. Parthian humiliation of Rome. The Parthians repeatedly embarrassed Rome, especially at the Battle of Carrhae, where Roman general Crassus was defeated and killed. Trajan's short-lived victory, in 116 AD, Emperor Trajan managed to capture the Parthian capital, Ctesiphon. But the victory didn't last. A rebellion broke out the same year, and his successor, Hadrian, pulled Roman forces back. The fall of Parthia, Rome's retreat, marked the end of their eastern ambitions. Parthia would eventually fall, not to Rome, but to the Persian rebel Ardashir, founder of the Sasanian Empire. Germany. Rome's dream of conquering Germany turned into a series of painful failures. Germanic tribes resisted fiercely, and their eventual sack of Rome in 410 AD became a major turning point in history. Constant setbacks. For centuries, Rome clashed with the Germanic tribes, suffering defeats that disrupted trade and cost the lives of several emperors. These losses weakened Rome's northern borders. The disaster at Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD, Rome suffered one of its worst defeats when Germanic leader Arminius ambushed and wiped out 3 Roman legions. The Roman commander took his own life rather than face the shame. Roman retaliation and retreat, though commanders like Nero Claudius Drusus tried to strike back, Rome ultimately lost its grip. After Teutoburg, Rome would never again control lands beyond the Rhine River. Yemen. The Romans were fascinated by Yemen, calling it Arabia Felix, Happy Arabia, because of its wealth and pleasant climate. That fascination quickly turned into ambition. Rome's ambitions in Yemen, in 26 BC, Emperor Augustus ordered Aelius Gallus to march into Arabia Felix and bring it under Roman control. A Nabatean guide named Silius led the expedition. Hidden agendas. But Silius had his own loyalties. He purposely led the Romans through the harshest deserts of Yemen, draining their strength and protecting Nabatean trade interests. A failed invasion, exhausted, starving, and ravaged by disease, the Roman troops barely made it to Yemen. And when they did, they were too weak to fight. They turned back, and Arabia Felix remained unconquered. Ireland. The Romans called Ireland Hibernia, meaning land of eternal winter. Not exactly a glowing endorsement. Agricola's interest in Ireland, Gnaeus Julius Agricola, the Roman governor of Britain from 77 to 84 AD, seriously considered invading Ireland. He even gathered intel from an Irish prince and believed a single legion could do the job. Ireland remains free. Despite the plans, no Roman invasion of Ireland ever really happened. Some think Agricola might have landed briefly, but no Roman army ever successfully occupied the Emerald Isle. Armenia. Rome repeatedly failed to hold on to Armenia, despite several attempts, including a short-lived occupation under Emperor Trajan. A tug-of-war with Parthia. Armenia's strategic location between Rome and Parthia made it a constant prize, with both empires vying for influence. Rome often relied on diplomacy rather than full military conquest to control the area. Roman influence, instead of outright conquest, Rome installed puppet kings. Under the Treaty of Rhandaea, Armenia was ruled by a Parthian prince, but only with Roman approval. Caught in the crossfire, even during periods of Roman influence, Armenia remained a battleground between Rome and Parthia, getting dragged into every new round of conflict. Poland. Back in Roman times, modern Poland was home to a group known as the Przeworsk culture. The Romans referred to them as the Lugii, a loose tribal federation. Alliances, not conquest. Rather than trying to conquer the Lugii, Rome chose to make allies. In 92 AD, Emperor Domitian sent 100 horsemen to help them fight off the Suebi. The Lugii and the Vandals. Historians believe the Lugii may have eventually merged with or become the Vandals, the same Vandals who would later sack Rome during its decline. Even at the height of its power, Rome had its limits. The peoples who resisted left a mark on history, proving that no empire is truly invincible. These stories of bravery and defiance still echo today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.